What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Took another loss today. I don't even know how many losses I've taken in a row, but it doesn't matter. I can only focus on the process. It is a little frustrating though because I'm on like a really bad losing streak, really bad. And I think it's just because I've made some silly changes. Instead of taking, just one model, I've been taking different models. Um, but yeah, here's the recap. So, bit of a tricky day today. So originally I was bullish towards London highs, which were up here, just loosely, because we had an SMT here, and then we had an hourly change in state of delivery just up here. But for me, that just wasn't enough, because if I was looking at this on a 1 minute chart, right? Like just imagine this 1 hour chart was actually on the 1 minute. I would never take a trade right here because we left these two lows down here. Let me see if there's an SMT, because maybe that's where I didn't catch it and I was actually wrong. Yeah, there's nothing over here. It's SMT. So we had left this low here and this low right here. Just relative equal lows on the hourly. And if I was on the 1 minute chart, I would not take a trade here. I would either wait for price to um, just go down here and take a long or just not take a long if I was on the 1 minute, right? So knowing that, I thought, okay, I'm going to be bullish towards these highs, but I need to see something at open to confirm that. Maybe an internal SMT, just an internal model play out. All right. So what ends up happening at open is we come up and we fill the opening range gap here. So, yep. We end up going up to, what is this? The upper quadrant or the lower quadrant of it, and we end up leaving it behind. And then what I see is first presented fair value gap here. We tap back into it and we drop lower. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we could leave. We don't have to fill the opening range gap to 50%, and especially if we trade away from the first presented gap, I'll look for lower because here this was the SMT, right? We had these relative equal lows down here, and these had no SMT. Let me just double check. Yeah, these had no SMT. This low and this low, and now this low, right? So this is a good draw for me. I thought this could be short-term draw for the session, and then remaining of the session we could continue lower here, right? And then going into Monday, we can get longs after this gets swept. That was my narrative at this point. So I flipped. And what happened was I was like, okay, I want to just be extra safe to confirm bearish order flow. So I want to wait for the 5 minute or the 3 minute to inverse. And I like this here. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention we had put in an SMT here at this 15-minute swing high. So that was enough for me to see what I want to see, right? And this SMT to me did not matter anymore because this was put in yesterday during Asia, and this SMT was put in for us to rebalance price higher. I'm sorry if you can hear the Roomba. This was for us to rebalance higher into OTE of this imbalance and then sell off. So I thought that was the same thing that was happening here. I thought we were just retracing back to this imbalance up here, this 15-minute imbalance, to sell off to these relative equal lows, and then continuing to this low right here on the 1 hour inside this 1 hour BISI. That is what made sense to me. What ends up happening is we get the 3 minute inverse. I don't know how I got such a bad fill. I tried to enter on the candle close. I think as soon as the candle closed, this opened and instantly dropped lower, and I literally bottom ticked, or I didn't bottom tick, but I got a fill at 880. It was so bad I had to put my stop loss like right here, or else I was over leveraging. Um, it was really bad. Uh, Thankfully, I didn't just get stopped out. I didn't run without me. The stop, I would have got stopped out anyway if I put my stop where I usually put it, which was going to be like right here for an inverse. So I just put it right there. This was super scuffed, and then I was gonna go break even probably around just like here at these external lows, and then first scale would have been at this low right here, and then I would have left runners down to this low right here. That was the idea, right? At first, I thought it was really great because I mean, just look at the candles here. I love the momentum. I thought this was a great loss. I mean, I just don't see why we wouldn't go down and at least sweep these lows here. And I thought the narrative made sense, right? And also on the 4 hour, I have 4 hour change right here. Um, Price trades back into it, forms a propulsion block. So that was really all I needed to see. I want to see all these lows down here get ran, right? Because like you got to think about it like in terms of like price is fractal, right? So if you're looking at this chart on a 1 minute 1 minute time frame, you would think this would probably get swept, or this would get swept, or you would see that we're stuck in accumulation, right? So you want to wait for the extremities of the range to sweep. But if obviously this is a 4 hour, if you're as zoomed in on the 1 minute, you can catch those moves to the extremities of the range if you're following order flow and you have the correct bias. Obviously today I was wrong, and that's okay. It's a learning lesson. Um, I think the reason why I was wrong is I don't think it was because of this SMT, to be completely real. I thought this SMT already did its job. If the SMT was like this, then that's completely on me. I should never be shorting into an SMT that looks like that. But this was already technically, this is basically an order SMT because, like I was saying, it was put in to rebalance to this inefficiency before selling off. So I would expect these lows to get hit and then everything else to be ran. I think the only reason why this failed today was just due to inefficient price action. It's a Friday. We only have yellow folder next week. We have a bunch of red folder news coming up, right? So price could just be generating liquidity. We are in 4 hour accumulation right now for next week. So I could just be, not be identifying conditions. But overall, I don't think it was a bad trade. I think it was a good loss. I would certainly take it again if I saw the signature and price. I thought time aligned. I saw what I needed to see, and I just accepted the probabilities. That's really about it. It's just a little frustrating, the little loss streak I've been on, and hopefully next week we can climb out of drawdown a bit on the accounts. But yeah, that's the trade recap.